Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tempo Strategy Legends of Runeterra Meta Snapshot. Aphelios has entered the format and brought with it a new mini set of cards and balance changes. Now that time has passed since the Go Hard nerf, new Twisted Fate decks have started popping up, attempting to fill the void TF Go Hard left behind. The addition of Aphelios seems to have been a big one, as he finds his way into a handful of new strategies. Let's take a look at what seems to be working well in the early stages of this new format. Don't forget, we will only be looking at the top decks and most notable new decks. If you would like to see the meta snapshot in its entirety, make sure to check out the link in the description. While you're at it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with more of our Tempo Strategy content. Without further ado, let's get started. Starting off this snapshot, we have Fizz Twisted Fate. Fizz TF is currently one of the strongest archetypes in the game. This strategy has quite a few angles to it. On its surface, it is an elusive beatdown deck that gets its damage in with Fizz, Daring Poros, Zap Sprayfin, and Wiggly Burblefish. The deck backs up this aggression with heavy burn through Mystic Shot, Get Excited, and Ignition. For TF Fizz, the options never stop flowing, as Rummage, Pick a Card, and Stress Testing keep the hand full of tools. Damage-based removal is risky to use against Fizz TF, since it can be punished heavily by Suit Up, which will often be 2 mana thanks to the deck's heavy amount of card draw. Fizz TF is currently one of the most feared decks on the ladder nowadays, and for good reason. Returning once again to the top of the meta snapshot, Fiora Shen is a board-based control deck that takes hold of the board with its challenger units. With the use of barriers, combat tricks, and counter magic, this deck is able to protect many of its units once they enter play. If Fiora Shen is able to deploy River Shaper, it can be used to grind out card advantage, drawing into fight effects, and protection spells. What makes Fiora Shen such a powerful deck is its ability to choose the pace at which it wants to play. The deck is happy to play a slow game where both players hold up mana, but also has the ability to curve out if need be. Fiora Shen has been a mainstay since beta, and will likely continue to exist for quite some time. The printing of Gluttony has allowed solo Anivia to once again return to the forefront of the meta, landing it a spot in Tier 1. This deck's primary goal is to get 1 or more Anivias into the graveyard. Once it does this, it is able to revive them with the Rekindler or the Harrowing. Many decks will struggle to answer multiple Anivias, and they will grind out the opponent. With such a slow game plan, the deck requires a handful of tools to control the board. Avalanche and the Ruination are important for cleaning up wide boards, while Vengeance and Pings makes for excellent spot removal. Once this deck stabilizes the board, it is often hard to stop due to its solid healing effects and Frostbites with Flash Freeze and Anivia's Harsh Winds. Closing out Tier 1 in this meta snapshot is Aphelios Twisted Fate, a strategy that aims to maximize on flexibility, given that is what the namesake champions do best. Aphelios Twisted Fate is a deck about options. This deck will often have a stacked hand and a tool for most situations. While Aphelios' moon weapons are already strong, this strategy has a little combo up its sleeve with Crescendum, as it will always summon a full health Boxtopus. Similar to Fizz TF, Aphelios TF is an elusive beatdown deck that is able to pull ahead either through card advantage or sticking a leveled up champion. Targon Invoke has moved away from the Zoe Diana package and now opts to go Zoe Aphelios. This strategy is still very much like its former build, with the goal to grind out its opponent through invoke effects. By moving away from Diana in favor of Aphelios, the strategy gains the options provided by moon weapons, which pair nicely with the already flexible game plan provided by invoking. Another new tool this deck gains with the new expansion is the Fangs. The Fangs are excellent, as the 3/2 lifesteal body is great for stabilizing, and it comes with a free 3 or less cost invoke. As is tradition, Targon Invoke opts to splash Shadow Isles so that it can play 2 copies of Atrocity. Combine that with 2 copies of the Sky's Descent, and you end up with a deck that has some monstrous finishers. The final Aphelios deck we wanted to talk about in our Meta Snapshot Breakdown is Viktor Aphelios. This deck is a strange one, as it uses none other than Jay Madara to pull ahead in card advantage. This deck is able to maximize on mana, as the Veiled Temple will refund you mana each turn, and its leveled up champions also reduce the cost of generated spells. This strategy revolves around created cards, as they trigger your augment effects and can get out of hand, especially when you are casting multiple gems on Jay Madara. The Aphelios expansion has shaken things up considerably, as a handful of archetypes have either been created or reinvigorated. It seems as though Twisted Fate is continuing his reign of terror, as he continues to find himself a part of some of the strongest Tier 1 decks. Will any decks be able to rise up to combat him? Will Aphelios be able to impact the format in the same way Twisted Fate has? Which of his moon weapons is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for staying with us until the end of the video. If you enjoyed what you watched and would like to see more Tempo Strategy content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to stay up to date. See you next time.